All right. Well, welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be talking about Google Maps domination. And this is a really important topic in today's environment online for you as a local home remodeler. My name is Carl Willis. I am the CEO and lead strategist at Remodeling Marketing Team. So if you've not been with us before, it's a pleasure having you with us. And today I'm going to be showing you how to stop being invisible in local search and instead how to start showing up right where your ideal customer is looking. And the intent today is that you will walk away with a clear action plan to improve your Google Maps ranking, attract a better fit of local lead, and also position your business as the authority in your market without having to rely on any gimmicks or any guesswork as you do that. And so that's really our agenda today as we spend our time together. And so I want to thank you for taking a little time with me today to be a part of this. If you've not been with us before, just to tell you a little bit about who I am and why you might want to listen to me. I've been marketing online since the dial-up days around 1997. My first online business, I sold vases over eBay in the dial-up era back in the 33.6 modem days. I'm the author of Internet Marketing for Home Remodeling Companies. Recently we released The Ultimate Guide to AI Tools, which was a book I co-authored with an AI engine itself. And I'm the creator of the Marketing Classroom International Keynote Speaker on business growth and lead generation, and widely accepted as a go-to expert in internet marketing for home remodeling businesses. Also, the host of the Digital Remodeler Podcast. If you're not a current listener to that, you can subscribe to that on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you're listening to podcasts. And then have worked with companies across the US and internationally. And so when you hear me talk, you're always going to hear me talk about the marketing ecosystem. I'm a firm believer that your audience is using multiple modalities, multiple platforms. They are constantly moving around. And for you to be the dominant player in your market today, you want to take full advantage of the marketing ecosystem. And so when we talk about the marketing ecosystem, there are many components, just like slices of a pie. And what we're going to be looking at today in the marketing ecosystem is the search engine optimization side of the marketing ecosystem. That's going to be the number one slot here on your pie chart where it says SEO. And this is where we're dealing with your local SEO when we talk about Google Maps. So in today's world of SEO, people use SEO as a blanket term, but when we talk about Google Maps, what we're really referring to is local SEO. It is that local visibility, and it is what shows really at the top of the page on Google when you're doing that Google search. And so when we're looking at your ecosystem, this is the number one position that we're going to be looking at today. Here's why this is so critical. 78% of local searches lead to a purchase within 24 hours. And so the person who is doing this local search, they're searching remodelers near me. The map is pulling up. Now they've got all of these remodeling listings down below. They are in shopping mode. If they are in this section and they are working around in this section, they have moved from just initial information to moving into the deeper part of their search. And so statistically, what we find across the board is 78% of those local searches lead to a purchase decision within 24 hours. And so Google Maps is not for tire kickers. It's where people go when they're ready to actually hire someone. So if you're not in that top three position, what we call the three pack, you are missing some of the easiest, lowest cost jobs and projects that you're ever going to win. So we always want to be aiming for these top three positions. That's the gold mine of Google Maps. That's always going to be the target that we want to aim for. Now, when we talk about your ideal customer, we want to understand their buyer's journey. We want to understand the buyer psychology. What is it that they're doing? What is the process they're going through so that we can match up what we're doing online to the steps that they're taking in that journey. And this is where your Google Maps visibility and your presence are going to be so important in this process. Because here's how your ideal customer behaves. First, they Google you. Then they check your reviews. And then they visit your website. And only after they feel confident about you do they call you. So you need to realize your job isn't just to be found. It's to actually build trust as they go through that process. And this is one of the things that we often see our clients and potential clients overlooking. People don't just land on one spot and immediately, poof, they decide you're the one. They are going through this decision-making process, and it's a multi-step process. And so we need to help them in that process. So number one, we need to help them find you. Number two, we need to make sure that we can answer their question about how reliable and trustworthy are you with those reviews. And then, of course, we want them to go to the website, get the information that they need so that they can feel confident about placing that call. So your job isn't just to be found, it's to build trust in the process. Now, what you need to understand is that's your part of the equation. You also want to understand, how does Google decide who ranks and who doesn't rank? And Google uses in their algorithm a three-part formula. And it's really pretty simple. It is relevance, prominence, and distance. And so let's break those three things down a little bit. Relevance is pretty simple. Are you offering the services that that individual is searching for? So are you relevant to their search? Distance, this one gets a little more complex. Are you close enough to them? So proximity. And then prominence, do people trust your business online? Are you influential? Do you have a good reputation? Are you well thought of in the community? And this is the important thing that we have to realize, is that we can't control the location of the person doing the search, but we can control relevance and prominence. And so these are important concepts for us to tackle, is the relevance and prominence. So you can't control the distance, but you can certainly control how relevant you are, and you can control the prominence side of the equation. So again, one of the common mistakes that we often see being made is that business owners are not focusing on making themselves relevant enough. They're not emphasizing the services that they offer. They are not emphasizing reviews. They are not emphasizing the type of work that they do. They're not showcasing their work. And so they are not controlling the factors that they are able to control in Google's process. And so, unfortunately, they're leaving themselves at the mercy of Google's algorithm. And if they are not next door to the person doing the search, then distance is not in their favor either. And let me also say this, if you don't have a physical address listed on your Google business listing, it is going to put you at a bit of a disadvantage on this distance piece. Now, Google still knows where you're located, but you are going to have to overcome that barrier with your relevance and your prominence, and you're going to have to go the extra mile because distance is not being factored in as heavily because you're not showing a physical address in your business listing. And that's something we'll go into in one of our upcoming webinars, is how to optimize your business profile. But the bigger thing I want you to see right now is what the formula is. How relevant are you to the search? How prominent are you? And then what is your distance? What is your proximity from the person doing the search? But the two factors you can control is prominence. Do people trust your business online? And relevance. Are you offering the services that are being searched for? Now let's talk about your Google business profile and how this really is your local website in the Google Maps universe, and truthfully, in the Google local search universe. So when we talk about Google Maps, don't get confused. Again, what we're really talking about is Google local search, because the way that Google is now putting together their search results on the page is they are giving preferential display to the maps listings above the traditional Google search results. So this is becoming prime real estate for you as the remodeling business owner. Your Google business profile is the most powerful tool that gets underused by so many remodelers out there. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that are really critical. Number one, make sure that your business profile is fully filled out. I would go back and look at your business profile every 30 days just to make sure Google has not added some new pieces of information that they're asking for. And if they are, make sure you have those filled out. For example, one of the things that Google has done recently is they've added services. And you may find that Google has identified services they believe you offer, and they've gone ahead and they've inputted those services into the business profile for you. But it'll just simply be a one-word service or a two-word service. But there's room for you to write a couple of sentences to really fill that information out. Go ahead and fill that information out. Make it a robust definition, a robust explanation of what the service is. Fully fill it out. Fill out your hours, fill out your days of operation, fill out all the information you can fill out. Number two, make sure that you're updating with weekly photos. Show projects that you're working on. Show your progress on projects that you're working on. Show before and after photos. Put some short videos of projects that you're working on. And then optimize with real service keywords. Don't treat your Google business profile like another directory listing. You actually want to treat it like a storefront. You want to treat it like a miniature website. Make sure the phone number is good. Make sure the business hours are good. Make sure all the links are correct. Make sure you have all your social media links in there so that people can go off to your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your YouTube channel, Pinterest, whatever other social media channels you're using. Treat this like it's a website, because your Google business profile, the way Google is working their algorithm now, they're using what is called zero click. They would much rather the prospect stay in their universe than click off to your website. And so that is why they are giving you the opportunity to put all of this information into the business profile so that the customer truthfully can call you, book the appointment with you, look at your reviews, look at your work, and never have to leave Google. So you have to think like Google when you're working in this environment. And the more you do that, the better off you're going to be. So make sure everything is filled out fully, filled out correctly, and make sure to add lots of photos. I can't overstate that enough. We've done our own internal studies. Business profiles that are consistent with photographs outperform those that don't. It is a true difference maker. Photos just cannot be overstated. The next thing you want to be sure you're paying attention to is what's called NAP consistency, name, address, and phone number. And this is one of those often overlooked things that people miss that can affect their rankings in these local searches. And I'm going to explain this to you a little bit. So, when we talk about name, address, and phone number consistency, you have to remember Google crawls the entire web to make sure your business information is consistent. If your phone number or name format is different on Yelp versus what it is on the Better Business Bureau versus what it is on Facebook, you're sending Google mixed signals. And so Google is then going to say you're not as trustworthy as another remodeling business whose information is identical on Yelp and is identical on the Better Business Bureau and is identical on Facebook. They will consider that business more trustworthy and give them better rankings. Now, here's where I want to give you some information that you may not think about. When we talk about business information being identical, here's what I mean. On the Better Business Bureau, if your address is 123 Main Street, but street is spelled out, and on Facebook it is 123 Main Street, but it's ST period, that's not consistent NAP. Those two are not identical. So you want to make sure they match up. So if on one directory it is street ST period, then make sure on the next directory it is street ST period, and that on your Google business profile it is street ST period. So make sure you have consistency all the way through. What that is digital trust, because there's consistency. When you have variations, it's street one place, ST period another place, ST with no punctuation somewhere else. That's inconsistency, and Google treats that as a lack of trustworthiness and can actually lower your rankings because of that and give preferred rankings to someone else. Now, the other thing to watch is if you've moved your location at some point in the past, is be looking out for old locations still floating around out there in old directories. And so one of the things you want to do from time to time is just do a quick scan and make sure you don't have old address information floating around out there for your business, because again, that lowers the trust factor in the algorithm. And NAP consistency equals trust in the eyes of Google. So keep it identical everywhere. Now, this next thing we're going to talk about is the real gold mine when it comes to local search power. Reviews are your ranking fuel, and I can't say that enough. Reviews are your ranking fuel. More reviews equals more visibility. Just like anything else, reviews, you can equate it to a popularity contest. And not just 5-star reviews. See, what Google really cares about is that you are getting reviews consistently. Now, the more 5-star reviews you get, obviously, Google loves that because that means you're giving a great customer experience to the people you serve. But what Google really likes to see is consistent reviews coming in for your business, that people are constantly giving feedback about your business. Because although Google loves 5-star reviews, what Google would rather see is consistent reviews coming in than a handful of 5-star reviews that were given a year and a half or 2 years ago. Because what Google wants to know is your business still giving good service yesterday, today, last week? Are you consistent in the level of business that you give? And you want to respond to those reviews, good or bad. Respond to them in a timely manner. Our recommendation is try to respond to every review in the first 24 to 48 hours. When you respond to a review, use the target keywords in your replies. And when I say the target keywords, I always want to encourage you to talk about what services the customer was utilizing from your company. So, for example, if somebody had you remodel their kitchen and they say, "We absolutely love the work you did on our home," you might want to respond by saying, "Thank you for letting us do the kitchen remodel on your house. It was a great experience for us, and we are so happy that you loved the final outcome." Because now you're putting some of those key words that we want to rank for in your response. And what will happen is Google will index that response. It will index those keywords and you will rank because those keywords are in the review and the response. So here's a really important thing for you. If you want more jobs, get more reviews. It's really that simple. One of the things that you will see is the companies that dominate in any market always have great reviews and great review volume. And so make that a best practice in what you do. A couple of things you can do if you find your reviews are lagging. Send an email out to your previous customers and simply ask them to go out and leave your review. Give them a link to your Google business profile and ask them if they would mind leaving a review for you. When you send out invoices, put a link to the review with your invoice. And then, of course, anytime you're face to face with somebody, ask them to leave you a review. Don't just think about those who have been your customers. Also think about those who have been subcontractors, vendors, suppliers, people who have interacted with you in any kind of a business capacity are also great people to leave reviews for you. So think outside the box as well. Who else could be a good source for review to help you in that process? Now, local content is also critical because it's going to build authority. One of the things that is important in today's search engine world is the idea of topical authority. Are you the recognized expert and authority in your field, in your area. And local content will help you accomplish that task. Creating local content is going to let Google know that you're part of your community. So you can write about your jobs that are available. You can show off your projects that you have going on currently, the projects you've just completed, get listed on local directories, trade associations, your local chamber of commerce. These are all local signals that create trust for the algorithm that will also help move you up in the local search. They're trust signals, and Google recognizes those trust signals. But what they do is they show that you are an authority, that you are established within the local community. And that's important. We need to show that you are an influential part of your local community. Now, remember what I just said, AI is rewriting the rules. And when we look at AI, we have to understand that in the algorithm, AI is now pulling from your entire online presence, not just your business profile, not just from your keywords, but it's pulling from your entire online presence or your entire footprint, or like what I call your ecosystem. So that means it is looking at your social media, it is looking at your reviews, it is looking at your videos, at your website. All of those things are going to influence whether you show up on the maps results or the local search results. See, local search is not just about keywords anymore, it's about your total digital footprint. So, one of the things that you'll hear us talk about quite a bit is signals. And what the AI in the search algorithm is looking for is authority signals. And where it is looking for those authority signals is social media, your reviews, your videos, your website. Do you demonstrate authority in the subject matter? Do you demonstrate authority in your local area based on the footprint that you're leaving online? And the way I like to explain it to people is the keywords are the technical piece that say you have all the right pieces in place to rank number 1, 2, or 3. The footprint is what validates whether or not you deserve that ranking to support what the keywords say to the algorithm. And so AI is rewriting those rules. You've got to be thinking about your entire footprint if you want to not only obtain those strong local rankings, but maintain those strong local rankings over time. Here's a case study that we did here recently. This would have been from August 21st of 2024 is when we took the first screenshot to December 11th, 2024. So 4-month period. This is in Florida, the Miami area. And this is a client we work with. They were buried on page 2, barely any traffic. And so we went on a 4-month campaign to change the trajectory of what was happening. So after 120 days, we had them top 3 in almost every area that we were targeting. And the map that we've got there listed is a 5-mile radius from their office. And so what we were aiming for was to get the phones ringing. So here's the strategy that we implemented to turn the colors on the map and to change the trajectory of what was happening in their local listings. First of all, we optimized the business profile, meaning we filled up every available space Google gives us to fill up. Answered every question, made sure all the information was filled in. If there was space for us to write a little sentence or two about services, we did that. Then we cleaned up the online footprint. We made sure that name, address, and phone number was consistent across all directories. And then we worked on the trust factor. We started asking for reviews. We started making sure every review was answered. And then we started creating more local content, more pictures, more local interest information on the business profile. We began creating links to other local businesses and more information that would be of great use or value to the prospective customer. And by doing that, just making those changes, we were able to drastically improve the trajectory of their visibility. Now, when you looked at their data from their Google business profile, what also changed was phone calls increased, website clicks increased. All of those metrics also improved because visibility improved. And so that's the correlation. As visibility improves, activity improves as well. Now, here are some common ranking killers that will absolutely hurt you on these Google Maps rankings. And so we want to save you from making these errors as well. The first thing is fake reviews. If you go out and buy fake reviews, that will come back to haunt you for sure. So definitely don't do that. Make sure your reviews are legitimate and genuine. If you go out to Fiverr and buy a gig where somebody goes and leaves you fake reviews, Google will find those, they will take them down, and they may actually blacklist your business profile and may even ban you as a business from using Google in the future. So just stay away from that. Don't use call tracking numbers in your Google business profile because it messes up the name, address, and phone number consistency. And that will also hurt you in your rankings. Don't leave your Google listing dormant. If you leave your Google listing sitting there collecting dust, it's going to be bypassed by somebody who is keeping their Google business listing active. And then don't hire cheap SEO firms. Now, one of the things we see quite often is the client who previously has hired the $300 overseas SEO firm or the SEO guy that has no local experience because it was a cheap deal. And it's ended up being very costly. In fact, here a week ago, we were sitting down with a client going through a backlink profile. And we were showing them some cheap backlinks that their cheap former SEO guy had paid for. And some of those backlinks had some very pornographic names to them. And we were explaining to him why his rankings were going down very quickly because you had links with pornographic names, and then you had links that had names with buy these links to, you know, alter your Google profile rankings. And we were telling him, if we can see that, Google can see that, so just beware of what it is you're paying for. Beware of cheap and poorly done SEO. It will do more harm than good. So those are some common ranking killers you want to avoid. Now, I mentioned this before, your footprint is the new SEO. SEO used to just be keywords and backlinks. That's not the case anymore. Footprint is what you want to think about. The ecosystem. Your new marketing strategy is a combination of your Google business profile, your social media profiles, local directories, your website, and then short form videos. And when I say short form videos, I mean videos that are 60 seconds or less. The kind of stuff that you see on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Reels. Those are the things that are creating the greatest momentum and digital gravity for small businesses today. Those are the things that, when you put them together, will create the largest footprint for you in your local market and will create the most impact for you in your local search rankings. And so, the stronger that digital footprint is, the more Google will pull you to the top. In fact, if you do a Google search today, you will even see at the top there is now a category called short videos. So Google has now given you that option to search by short videos. So part of what you want to do is just keep watching what Google is doing these days. So you can look for short videos, you can look for forums, you can look for frequently asked questions. All of those things are showing up in your Google search results, and that's an indicator of what you want on your Google business listing. On your Google business listing, you have a list of frequently asked questions. Fill those in. That's one of the things Google likes. So let Google lead the way for you. Let Google show you what Google likes, and you're going to be able to win at this game over and over again. But again, the footprint is your Google business profile, your social profiles, but those social profiles need to be active. They can't be dormant. Your Google business profile needs to be active. It can't remain dormant. Local directories, your website, short length videos, 60 seconds or less. And by putting those together, you're going to create this strong digital footprint that is going to help pull you to the top of those local search results. Now, if you're ready to stop guessing and you want to start getting real results, you can always book a free strategy session with our team. And we'll take a look at your current footprint, review what's working and what's not working, and show you how to rise in the rankings. There's no pressure, just a conversation to help you get visible. And we will do a full audit of your Google visibility. We'll give you a game plan, what we recommend, and also a clear path of how to dominate your local area. And you'll leave knowing exactly what to do, whether you work with us or not. And so there is a link there for you. It's remodelingmarketingteam.com/get started. And here in the remaining few minutes we have, I'm going to open it up for questions. And so if you've got a question, just put that in the chat, and I'll give us a couple minutes here to see if we have any questions. If not, thank you for joining today, and we'll give it a few moments to see if we've got some questions. All right, it doesn't look like we have any questions, so I want to thank you for taking time out to join us today. And again, you don't have to guess your way to the top of Google business results, local results. It's easy to make your business the first one local homeowners see and trust on Google. And remember, if they don't see you, it's as though you don't even exist. And I look forward to having you with us on next month's webinar. We'll be putting out information on that webinar here in the next couple of weeks, and look forward to talking with you soon. If we can be of service to you, be sure and schedule that strategy session. And of course, you can always catch us on the Digital Remodeler Podcast. New episodes dropping each and every Friday. Thanks for tuning in today.